A very good morning to you students. Welcome to Chanakya Academy online classes, Standard 10th, Subject Science, Chapter number 6, Life Processes. Yes students, so how are you all? Hope you are fine. Okay, yes, now let's move further and today we'll discuss about human respiratory system. Okay, let's start. A very beautiful diagram, students. Please practice this diagram. Okay, this is about human respiratory system, the system where we are actually inhaling oxygen and giving out carbon dioxide. So this is the pathway from where our gas is moving inside our lungs. Okay, so let's start. So we are inhaling air, okay, with our nasal passage. So this is the first point of entry. Okay, we have the nose and inside the nose we have nostrils. Okay, so that nostril will join into a nasal passage. Okay, the nasal passage will move downward into a region called as pharynx, then followed by larynx. Okay, so here you can see that we have two passage. One is your nostril passage and the other is your food. Okay, so both these passage are joining at a common area and then it is reaching towards pharynx. Okay, pharynx is moving down. Okay, you can clearly see it is moving down. Okay, that is called as trachea. What it is called? It is called as trachea. So from the nose the air is moving into nostril. From nostrils it is moving to the nasal passage it is moving to pharynx, then trachea. Okay, from the trachea now it will bifurcate into two, where it will go into left lung and right lungs. Okay, so this is your lungs, students. Okay, the structure in pink which you see is your lungs, and you know that the lungs is present inside your ribs. Okay, so ribs is your skeletal part, so this rib will protect your left lung and right lung. So we have two lungs. Okay, so your trachea will move into two parts. Okay, so from the nasal passage, from pharynx to trachea, it will divide into two. This is known as bronchia. Okay, then bronchia will further divide into bronchioles. Okay, and then this bronchioles will further divide and redivide into a chamber called as alveoli sac, which you can see here. Okay, so this is your alveoli sac. So we can say that the air is passing from trachea to bronchioles, from bronchioles to bronchiolus, from bronchiolus into alveoli sac. Okay, so trachea to bronchiole, bronchi, then bronchioles and alveoli sac. So this is the pathway of your air. So all the air, okay, all, it will be poured into the last terminal which is known as alveolar sac. Okay, so it will be like this. So all the air, okay, will come into this alveoli sac. Understood? Yes, now just read the content. I'll just read what it is given. Yes, so till here we have done yesterday. Let's move further. Animals have evolved different organs for the uptake of oxygen from the environment and for getting rid of carbon dioxide produced. Okay, this we know that we are taking in oxygen and we are giving out carbon dioxide, and we have a special track where we are inhaling and exhaling. Okay, so terrestrial animals can breathe the oxygen in the atmosphere, but animals that live in water need to use the oxygen dissolved in water. Okay, now let's move further. Since the amount of dissolved oxygen is fairly low, okay, so we can say that the dissolved oxygen, that is dissolved oxygen means the oxygen which get mixed, okay, which get dissolved, is known as dissolved oxygen, is fairly low compared to the amount of oxygen in the air. Okay, the rate of breathing in aquatic organism is much faster than that seen in terrestrial organism. Fish take in water through their mouth and force it to pass the gills, where the dissolved oxygen is taken by the blood. Okay, so this, you know, that in fishes what they have gills, and what the gills are doing, they are taking in the dissolved oxygen which is dissolved in water. Okay, that's why it is called as dissolved oxygen, because the oxygen get mixed inside the water. Okay, but in terrestrial organism the situation is little bit different. Okay, in terrestrial organism, use of oxygen in the atmosphere for respiration, this oxygen is absorbed by different organs in different animals. Okay, this we know that we have different organs. Okay, all these organisms have a structure that increases the surface area which is in contact with the oxygen rich atmosphere. Okay, so in each of the terrestrial organisms, okay, we have to increase the surface area. Okay, if the surface area is more, then what will happen? More absorption of the gas will take place. Okay, all these organisms have a structure that increases the surface area which is in contact with the oxygen rich atmosphere. Okay, so what they are telling is that when we are inhaling, okay, the atmosphere, it will have more concentration of oxygen, and this concentration of oxygen should reach in each and every cell. So for this, the surface area should be increased of the organs. Okay, that means the respiratory organs should have a structure where their surface area is more. Okay, so that what can it do? So that the exchange of the gases, that is the oxygen and carbon dioxide, takes place very easily. Okay, if the surface area is less, then what will happen? The exchange will be less. Okay, so we have the alveoli sac, okay, in humans, and what this alveoli sac will do? This alveoli sac will increase their area and the exchange take place very easily. Okay, let's move further. Since the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide has to take place across this surface is very fine and delicate. This surface is what? Very fine and delicate. So proper exchange should take place. In order to protect this surface, it is usually placed within the body. So there have to be passage that will take area, air to this area. Okay, in addition, there is a mechanism for moving the air in and out of this area where the oxygen is absorbed. So what they have? They have a specific pathway. Okay, specific passage where the air is taken inside that area, particular area. Okay, now in figure 6.9, okay, which I have just shown you, air is taken into the body through the nostril. Okay, nostril means the nasal part which we have. Okay, the air passing through the nostril is filtered by fine hair that lines the passage. The passage is also lined with mucus which helps in this process. Okay, so nostrils which we see, the nose part, okay, it is having two main important things, students. One is the fine hair which you see. Okay, what is this fine hair doing? This fine hair acts as a filtrate process. Yes, student, very important point. The hair which you see in your nose is acting as a filtrate, and what it will filtrate? It will filtrate the dust. Okay, we know that when we are inhaling the air, okay, in the atmosphere we have fine particles. Okay, and this should be stopped. Otherwise, what will happen? Continuously this fine particle will enter into our respiratory tract and it may block. Okay, so the fine hair which you have acts as a filtrate. Okay, and the other important thing is the mucus which we have. Okay, this mucus is also helping in easy passage of the air. Okay, and it may kill some bacteria also. Okay, this mucus will secrete some substance, and that substance can kill certain microorganic organisms also. Okay, so in your nostrils you have two important things, that is the hair and the mucus. Yes, now let's move further. From here the air passes through the throat and into the lungs. Okay, so it is passing from the throat to lungs. Now rings of the cartilage are present in the throats. This ensures that the passage does not collapse. Yes, very important. I'll just show you what they are talking. They are talking about rings of cartilage. Okay, I'll just show you the diagram. Yes, you can see here they have shown rings of cartilage. Okay, this what it is like. See, this is your trachea. Okay, and this trachea will have cartilage. Okay, like this C-shaped cartilage will be present on your trachea like this. Okay, that means from the back side the cartilage will be absent. It will be C shape. Okay, what it will do, that when we are inhaling or when we are exhaling the gases, okay, this structure, that is this one, the wall of trachea should remain intact. Okay, it should not be closed. Always when we are inhaling or when we are exhaling the gas, this trachea should remain open. Okay, otherwise if it remain closed, what will happen? The exchange will not take place and we may lead to choke, and ultimately death may occur if this trachea gets closed. So for this reason we have a cartilage. What is that? That is a soft bone. Okay, and this cartilage helps to keep the trachea always open. Okay, so it will get attached and this rings will hold them properly. Okay, so this is the reason why we have this ring of cartilage present in trachea. Okay, and this will prevent in collapsing, or we can say this helps in easy exchange of gases. Okay, yes, now let's move. Yes, within the lung, the passage divide into smaller and smaller tubes. Okay, it will divide into smaller and smaller, which finally terminates into a balloon-like structure, which are called as alveoli. Okay, the alveoli provide a surface where the exchange of gas can take place. Okay, so alveoli are that region where exactly the exchange of gases is taking place. Okay, it is balloon-like structure like this. Okay, so inside what we will have oxygen. Okay, here we will have oxygen, and outside what we will have, here we will have carbon dioxide. Okay, because when we are inhaling we will have oxygen. Okay, so what we will do, the oxygen will be moved outside, and the carbon dioxide which are there, it will be moved inside. Okay, so this is the region where main important thing, that is exchange of gas is taking place, that is oxygen and carbon dioxide. As we have seen in early years, when we breathe in, we lift our ribs and flatten our diaphragm, and the chest cavity becomes large as a result. Okay, so when we are breathing in, okay, when we are breathing in, what is happening? What is happening? We are breathing in. Okay, so the ribs will be lifted up because we have to fill the lungs. Okay, so when we are filling the lungs, our chest cavity increases, it becomes large. Okay, because we are inhaling. So when we are inhaling, the bag becomes large. So which is this bag? This is your chest cavity. Okay, so chest cavity becomes large. Because of this, air is sucked into the lungs and fills the expanded alveoli. Okay, the blood brings carbon dioxide from the rest of the body for release into the alveoli, and the oxygen in the alveolar sacs is taken up by the blood in the alveolar body vessels to be transported to all the cells of the body. Okay, this I have just explained you. Okay, I'll explain you again. Like if this is your air sac, okay, then you will have the blood capillary. Inside the blood capillary you will have carbon dioxide here, and here you will have oxygen. So oxygen will move from your sac towards the capillary. Okay, this is your alveolar sac. So from the alveolar sac, oxygen will move into the capillary, and carbon dioxide from the capillary will move into alveoli. So this is the way the exchange is taking place. Understood? Let's move further. During the breathing cycle, when the air is taken in and out, the lungs always contain a residual volume of air, so there is a sufficient time for oxygen to be absorbed and for the carbon dioxide to be released. Okay, so this say that we are not 100% eliminating carbon dioxide. Okay, we have some of the carbon dioxide and oxygen in our lungs. Okay, some percentage is there, and that is known as your residual volume. Okay, so lung always contain residual volume of air. It will have, okay, sufficient time for oxygen to be absorbed and for carbon dioxide to be released. Okay, we are saying that exchange is taking place, but it doesn't mean that this exchange is slow or fast. we have residual volume also, which is always filled in lungs. Okay, so this is all about our respiratory tract. Okay, about various system, various pathway, okay, of the respiratory system. Okay, again I'll just revise quickly, that is from the nose to the nostril to the nasal passage, the air is pumped inside into the pharynx. Okay, from the pharynx it moves towards trachea. Okay, this trachea is lined by rings of cartilage. And why the rings of cartilage is present? Because to avoid collapse of trachea, these rings are present. Okay, this trachea divides into two, the left bronchi and the right bronchi. Okay, and each of them will go into left lungs and right lungs. This bronchi will further divide or branch into bronchioles. This bronchioles will ultimately branch into alveoli, where it will have a small sac-like structure which is called as alveoli sac. This alveoli sac increases the surface area for absorption of the air. Okay, and the exchange of the gases will take place in this alveoli sac. So alveoli sacs will be lined by capillaries. Okay, so you can see that. I'll just zoom that part once again for you. Okay, so here you can see we have different alveoli sacs. Okay, so each of your alveoli sac which you see here, okay, all these alveoli sacs will be lined by capillaries. Okay, what it will be, that all the capillaries, what are capillaries, students? They are blood streams. Okay, that we will study about the arteries, veins and the capillaries. Okay, so here the alveoli which are present here, okay, on the left side and on the right side there are various alveoli present. So this alveoli is lined by capillaries, and alveoli is that area where the exchange of gases is taking place. Okay, so we have the gases over here. Okay, in the this one alveoli we have oxygen. Why? Because from here the air enters into your alveoli sac. So alveoli sac will have oxygen. Okay, and the capillary will have carbon dioxide. So from here it will go into blood. The oxygen will go into blood. Okay, so when this will take place, when we are inhaling. Okay, so when we are inhaling, it will move towards alveoli, into alveoli sac. Okay, and into the capillaries. Okay, and when we are exhaling, what will happen? This carbon dioxide will move into the alveoli sac, and it will come to bronchiole, bronchioli, trachea, pharynx, nostril and outside. Okay, so this is the two pathway which is making a respiratory system, where the exchange of gases is taking place, oxygen going inside and carbon dioxide coming outside. Understood? I hope this content and this lecture is useful to you. Read properly, make proper notes, and if you have any doubt, please tell me again. Okay, one more diagram. See, this is the alveoli. Okay, so you can say that this alveoli which you see here it is made up of small this alveoli sacs. Okay, like this, and it will go like this. Okay, so with this I have finished with today's lecture. Okay, tomorrow we'll study about what is blood. Okay, what are arteries, what are vein, what is circulatory system, the new system. Tomorrow we will study. Okay, thank you.